Half the battle of being a content creator is coming up with an idea. But today's episode was inspired by a very inspirational fella named Joe Ross. We're Murray, Heather, Eve, and Pearl Ginnick. We're a Canadian family of four who is always planning our next adventure. Winters are long and summers are short, so we try to make the most of each season. Oh, and if you're new here, in September 2022, we bought this project sailboat. Our plan is to get the boat splash ready for sometime in 2025 so we can sail south. Join us if you like watching boat work, roadside adventures, and trips to escape the winter blues. Hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss out on Ginnick's on the Go.
I'm Joe Rust. I'm the younger brother of Captain Alex Rust, who circumnavigated the globe in his boat Bubbles. Yeah, the story all begins with just a simple Indiana boy who, as a kid, dreamed of exploring the world, and years later, as a successful trader in the Chicago market, making a lot of money, but was just lost in life, and finally hit the tipping point where he quit his job without knowing a lick of sailing, bought a boat, taught himself how to sail, and spent 4 years exploring the world.
The boat's called Bubbles. If you ever watch a little kid, like I'm talking like 2-3-year-old kid, like if you ever blow bubbles and just watch the eyes of like a little kid just like grow and like kind of shine looking at this, but the smile that comes across their face when they see like these bubbles just floating by, that's what this trip is to me. You know, me being a little kid again, just seeing the world and taking it all in as I go, and yeah, I mean, it's just like bubbles floating.
And bringing a ton of people along the way with him too. He had hundreds of different people crew on his boat through different legs. He picked up a guy in the Galapagos, practically taught him English, and ended up staying on Bubbles more than any other crew member. He brought family, he brought old college friends and strangers, just picked them up to get on the boat. And so it was really a 4-year jam-packed adventure of you know, seeing the world and finding the humanity, you know, that's still out there and the beauty that's out there across the world. Shortly after he got back, he unfortunately passed away while traveling in India. And he just always had a huge passion for kids, and he was over there looking to do something to support kids in India. And so we kind of picked up the baton. We've been helping kids in India in Alex's honor. And then, yeah, recently we got his boat back. And, yeah, the documentary came out a few years after he passed. And, yeah, there's just kind of been this cycle of people loving his story, feeling inspired of his story. And so we wanted to kind of fuel that story with more programs. And so now that we have the boat back just recently, we're kind of trying to tie that all together. So, yeah, and he's self-proclaimed to say the worst sailor to ever sail around the world. You know, you just have to get out and go. And that was like his big message to people. You're never really going to have everything fully figured out. And that was kind of his mantra with sailing around the world, is just get out and go. Try it. And you'll learn along the way. You'll adjust and figure it out. So he brought a Sailing for Dummies book, and just like hardly ever read it, you know. He learned by doing. And so the documentary does a great job of talking through all the mishaps of him trying to figure out how to sail on his boat, trying to teach himself. But the one thing that's really cool that you see in the documentary and that we try to carry on is it was never about just him. It was always about bringing people along with him. He did one leg by himself right out of the gate, and he swore he'd never do a single sail again. And that's how he like picked up strangers, because he was like, it's more important to share this with someone because there's so much goodness and beauty out there. And so, yeah, he just had a huge heart, and it was a tragic loss to the world to lose this guy. And as a brother, you know, this is how we keep him alive, through his stories and through his boat.
We used to spend our summers here playing in the water. This is first experience with water. So out here, Dad would take us out on a little rowboat. We'd do a little fishing.
Our dad was born, lived with a permanent address, and died all within a 3-mile radius. But he traveled the globe. He went all sides of the world. That carried on with us kids, and specifically with Alex.
And so after the documentary came out, and shortly after he passed, we started the Chasing Bubbles Foundation in kind of his spirit to kind of help kids empower their dream, empower kids to chase their dreams like he did. And we've kind of been evolving now. It's like kids of all ages, even us as adults, like we can be kids again at heart and chase our dreams, whether that's sailing or not sailing. And so recently we bought Alex's boat back, Bubbles. So we just put her through a big refit, and we got her in a sailing school in the Virgin Islands. So you can learn how to sail on Bubbles now. So we just came out, under an ASA certified school. So you can chase that dream, or you can help us empower kids to chase their dreams to get out in the water. We do youth programming with Bubbles with island kids down in St. Thomas, which has been really fruitful, helping change lives of kids who are afraid of the water, even though they grow up next to it. And it's just wild. So, carrying kind of that legacy of Alex, who, no matter where he went in the world, remote parts of the Pacific River in Papua New Guinea or the Amazon, he was always getting kids on his boat. So we want to keep getting kids on Bubbles and keep her sailing. So we're here to share that story of Alex, make sure people know his story so they feel inspired. But grow our program too. Make sure people can keep chasing their dreams. Do an annual regatta in the British Virgin Islands with other cruisers, like-minded cruisers, just to make sure that Bubbles is continuing to inspire. We're really excited to bring the story of Alex to so many people across the world, and now with the boat back, providing more opportunities to be connected to the sailing community, but also encourage anyone that your dreams, whether it's sailing or not, that you really just got to set sail. It doesn't have to be set sailing on a boat, but it just is about getting out there and chasing your dreams and finding meaning in life.
Well, there you have it, the story behind the Chasing Bubbles Foundation. And I really hope that you're going to check out the Chasing Bubbles documentary. I did. It's a good 90-minute watch, and I'll link it in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you next time.